Hey, Sarah.
Hello, Kelly. How are you?
Good. Good evening there, I think, right?
That's right.
It's nice and bright early morning here. So thank you so much for doing this for me today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's one of my favorite topics, so
Great.
I'm excited.
Okay, that's awesome. So I'm going to dive right in and ask you, what was your reason for ditching the sugar?
Oh my gosh. The first reason was just to feel better physically. I'd like to say that it was about the mental things, but first it was just feeling better physically, right? I was having a lot of stomach issues and I'll say butt and gut problems, if you know what I mean. And I just wasn't feeling too good as far as my digestive tract was concerned. And so that was the first reason. A lot of times I think physical pain is a great factor and motivator to make some changes.
Definitely.
And secondly, it was to take my power back mentally. I realized that I've had sugar addiction since I was very, very young, and it has controlled my thoughts. And, I just always had the cravings. And I remember being young and selling candy bars for school for like a fundraiser and hiding in my bedroom at night, eating them all. And then, seriously, and then feeling so ashamed because not only because I didn't have the money to pay for a box of candy, but because I knew it wasn't right. But I couldn't help myself. And so it was also to take my power back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you been sugar-free?
This round is forever. It's finally a lifestyle change that I feel good about. 10 months.
Congratulations. That's fabulous. So that leads me into the next question. And the further questions I've got for you. So you said this round. So what did you find was the hardest, and what was the hurdles, and what's the reason that you couldn't go through with it the first time in comparison to this time? So talk me through those steps that you took. So my cat's visiting us.
Rolla, you're welcome here with us. Oh, what a sweetie. I think before, other people I think with different addictions can relate, I never wanted to do it forever. I talked myself into, I can have a little bit. But with me being addicted, it's just, you can't just have like a little bit of heroin. You know what I mean? For me, it was an addiction. Or you can't just smoke a little cigarettes. If you're highly addicted, it gets you right back into that old pattern.
Yeah.
And, alcoholics are supposed to avoid alcohol. So the same thing with me as sugar. I kept telling myself, I can have a little bit. But the thing with me and my addiction is I don't just eat a piece of cake. I eat an entire cake. So although I would talk myself into having a piece of cake after a while, my addiction would fight in. I have learned a balance now where I can, in moderation, have a little bit, and I don't beat myself up over it. That was the other thing. In the past, I would beat myself up over having the little bit of cake. So I was like, it's ruined. My diet's ruined. I might as well eat the whole cake because I had a piece. Now, if I have a piece, I'll just let my stomach feel a little uncomfortable, and I'll maybe have to fight cravings for a couple of days after that, but I'll be right back on track. So I won't be hard on myself, don't beat myself up, and just get right back on track, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. So I'd really like to know some of the techniques or tips or things that you did that actually helped you with those cravings the second time around.
Yes. What was really powerful for me right at the beginning when I ditched the sugar was to eliminate fruit as well. And now I eat fruit and I love it and wonderful, adds sweet to my life. But at first it was that little bit of the fruit would trigger something in my brain where I just wanted more and more fruit or more and more sweetness. Yeah. So by helping eliminate all sugar, honey, agave, stevia, fruit, everything at the beginning, I think it really allowed me to move forward without having so many triggers to my cravings. also I got a support system around me from the beginning. And I think that's what you're doing here, which is incredible. Yeah. Without the support system, I don't think I would have made this as a lifestyle change like I have, instead of just the feeling of a diet or eliminating it for a time. I found other people who wanted to also eliminate sugar from their diet. A group called Beautiful Sugar Free Me, and we all together did it, and everyone did it in their own ways. You know, some people still had honey, some people had fruit, so it was just a non-judgmental group, but a space that I could go to if I was having a breakdown and need some encouragement and learn from what other people were experiencing as well. So that's both of those things really, really helped me in the beginning.
Yeah, that is what I'm aiming to do. Like you said, some people prefer to cut out slowly, bit by bit, and some people, would prefer to go cold turkey. So just to clarify, you went cold turkey the whole lot?
Yep. I went cold turkey.
Yeah. So what was the hardest thing about going cold turkey, Sarah? Like, what was the most, if you were to pick one thing that was the most difficult about just dropping the sugar completely, what would you say?
It was emotionally for me at the beginning of going.
Yeah.
Because I had such emotional ties to it. And just the thought of never having their donut would bring me to tears.
It's okay. I can relate. I cried over ice cream when I got diagnosed with leaky gut and got told I had dairy intolerance. We went to the movies and my boyfriend bought a choc top ice cream and they were my favourite. And I sat in the cinema and I had a little howl because I was never going to have a choc top again. Now it just feels ridiculous and it's the last thing that I'm craving. And to be honest, my taste buds don't even desire ice cream. I watch my boyfriend eat it and I'm quite content to just watch. I just really don't even think about it. And that's, that's like a couple of years down the track. That doesn't happen overnight. And I think patience plays a really big part in quitting sugar. Would you agree?
I do, and I agree. It's easier with time. First, the quickies are super intense, and you're emotional. But then, as time goes, last night we were at dinner, and everyone ordered dessert. I was fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd like to backtrack a little bit, actually, and ask you, when you said that you were addicted to sugar, what identifying markers? How do you define whether you're addicted to sugar in your opinion?
I feel like it was control over me. I thought about it all the time. It was like a shameful secret. I was closet eating in the middle of the night. People didn't know this about me. Mm-hmm. It was my inability to have it in moderation.
Yeah. Yep. Terrific. And the best part, I think the best question to ask is, what is the benefits of ditching sugar for you? What have you found?
Oh my gosh, so much. Increased confidence because I can do it and do it well. Physically, my stomach, my butt and gut, great. I'm sleeping so well. My quality of life has really increased. My ability to focus has improved. So overall, even my connection to Source and angels and God has improved. I think because when you do something that you know is wrong for you, you kind of block that channel.
Yeah. Oh, I love that you identify that your connection to Source is a lot stronger. Quite often, I've had a number of conversations around that with people who are really intuitive and are working with Source, and yet they eat really badly. And I feel that in my instinct that doesn't align for me, and I feel that their connection would be heightened if they give up sugar, and I often talk to them about that. So I'm so pleased that you can validate that for me, because it just, to me it makes sense. It's like trying to pick up a TV signal with a crappy, with interference. That's the same thing when it comes to Source and sugar, I believe.
Yes, I believe Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'd just like to finish off by asking, because I know it comes up for a lot of people, did you find much resistance from, I know you created a really good support system, which I agree is very, very important, especially when you're trying to change a lifestyle in any way, really. You know, it doesn't matter what you're trying to do. It's a lot easier when you've got people around you. So, but the other people that weren't in your support system, like I spoke to a lady yesterday, and she had a little bit of resistance from her family. And I know I've had resistance from my family, or a little bit of judgment around my dietary changes, and obviously it's triggering things in them. But did you find this a similar, occurrence when you were ditching sugar?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I have people trying to say, "Oh, just have a diet; it won't kill you,"
Mm-hmm.
and like you're missing out, and I couldn't do it. And a lot of resistance to such a healthy change.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you again so much for answering those questions. I know that your experience and insight is going to be really valuable to the ladies that I share this video with. And thank you for carving out some time for me tonight.
Yes. Oh, I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you, Sarah. I'll talk to you soon.